This episode contains themes of experimentation, dehumanization, and violence. If you ever feel unsafe or suicidal, there is a list of international hotlines in the description of the episode. Please take care of yourself and remember, you matter. So let's switch over to Etris and Jerry. You're in the basement. You're going
very
down
safe,
the stone steps.
Very stable. Nothing's going on.
I love a good dungeon.
Yeah, you're just going down. Do you have a light or anything on you?
Ooh,
because it's getting nighttime out, so you have a bit of the sunlight coming down from behind you, but there are some long dark shadows ahead of you, and it doesn't seem like this basement is lit up at all.
I mean, my phone's dead, so that flashlight is no more. I could check the trash bag. The trash bag provides, but I don't know if you got some sort of like alchemist's fire or something.
Yeah, I was gonna say. I think the only thing I can think of is kind of like that. The bottle or whatever that they get in the Lord of the Rings movie. I don't know if it's just the movies or the books. Both. I can't remember. But like the light, kind of like watery thing that
white
they
phosphorus.
Get. Yeah, that's what Tolkien called it. So yeah, I think that would be the only one on my character sheet. I don't have anything, but if I could magic my way out of not having light, I'd sure like to try.
Yeah, sure.
An 8 total.
Wonderful. So that will give you what you want and a glitch.
I figure it's not going to last very long. Seems like a pretty reasonable, especially as we're going deeper into a dark basement. Probably, I don't know,
tasty
thematically, dramatically, dying at just the right point. I don't know, just spitballing. That's probably what it's going to be. So Etris like, I got this, and shuffles around. There's tons of clinking and clacking, and maybe one small shatter that Etris doesn't seem particularly worried about until eventually he comes up with a vial and hands it to you and say, "Drink that."
Okay,
it'll help with it'll help with the dark.
Yeah, never have I been known to be skeptical of drinking strange liquids. Go.
Then a light glow starts to emanate from your body.
Fucking majestic.
That's what I said. Yeah, thank you. The other people I tested this on did not care for it, but you are a person of taste.
I see. The first coming to Jarbo, baby.
As we light up wherever we are, I would like to ask my third question, please.
Go ahead.
Seems like an appropriate time. Now I just got to remember what the questions for Monster of the Week are. But
challenging. This was from Read a Bad Situation, correct? Yeah.
Yes,
so
from Read a Bad Situation.
Best way in, best way out, dangers you haven't noticed, biggest threat, most vulnerable to you, or the best way to protect the victims. So since you have lit Jerry up like a fucking Christmas tree, let's establish the room so maybe you can have more context. So you've reached the bottom of these stairs. You are in this room. Jerry, you drink this potion of light and you become illuminated, but just not in a spiritual sense and more of a physical one. And what you see around you is a room full of cages, a small desk littered with stacks of paper and books, and various beakers and vials. Etris, this would be of particular interest to you because it's very similar to your setup that you have at home. And so you'd be looking over these things around you, and you'd see in some of these cages the reflection of Jerry's light off of animalistic eyes, and some of these creatures start to like jump at their cages and are blocked. So the creatures start rattling around in here.
Whoa! All right. You said that it was kind of like a lab kind of situation.
Yeah. You would recognize some of the materials that are being used here.
Right. So while fantasy ingredients and real world ingredients may not overlap necessarily, I think the question that I'd like to ask is, what's the biggest threat? Specifically, and obviously if there's something looming over us that you really think it would be important to tell us about, I would appreciate that too. But specifically what I'm looking at is, among the kind of lab equipment, is there anything that stands out immediately upon any amount of investigation with like as being very pressingly dangerous, either to us because of like fumes or because it's like, oh my God, this chemical does this thing, and if it's used this way, that's very dangerous, et cetera, et cetera.
Oh, interesting. I will take a moment to consider this.
By all means.
Because that is an excellent question.
And I'll start huffing, to be clear, in case that's, kind of like thematically valuable.
Oh, interesting. Yeah, I need to Google something, actually.
What happens if you inhale?
I'd like to note I have a very high constitution in a narrative sense.
I may be no alchemist, but I can tell without a shadow of a doubt they were not making calzones.
What is calzone if not alchemy?
I guess you're right. And what is calzone other than big ravioli? So my expertise is sound here.
That sounds like the big bad of this whole story is big ravioli. Like they're behind the scenes pulling the strings.
The omnipresent ravioli.
Also, It's worth noting, Jason, in case this is valuable information, one of the moves that I took is called "It's Not As Bad As It Looked," which is I can attempt to keep going despite my injuries, and obviously that is not necessarily immediately applicable. But I feel like flavor-wise, it's like, yeah, oops, I chugged something I technically wasn't supposed to, based off of anatomy of humans or whatever. But it's fine.
Yeah, you pick up a vial of a silver liquid, uncork it, take a sniff. You immediately recognize that this is quicksilver, also known as mercury. So if you were to ingest this, it would very much cause some problems for you.
You mean if I ingested more of this?
Yes.
It would cause more problems.
Yes.
Yeah, got it. He puts like recorks it or whatever, puts it back without, trying not to touch it, and is like, let's just assume all of this, we won't touch it until we need to touch it.
Got it. We can find a different room to put the explosives in.
Exactly. Now, all these creatures in their chittering and chattering and screeching and such in these cages? I can't quite make it out, and I am a little afraid.
Yeah, I'm alarmed as well. So, probably worth looking at. Do you want to go, or do you? I guess I could look, being as I'm a lamp.
I do technically live with a donkey, but that is as much real world experience that I have really with animals.
Yeah, that sounds like Gary. Jerry, you should roll investigate a mystery for us.
Oh joy! My not worst skill.
Can I help, or do you have to roll cool to help?
Help out is a cool roll, I believe. Yeah.
Can I give that a shot? Oh, I rolled bad.
Jerry's got this well in hand with a cumulative 5.
You were all crushing it.
So no helping. No helping necessary.
Just 100% doing an impersonation of what you did in the hotel room or in the apartment Sharkage's room.
Wonderful. Etris, you go over to try and look things over as well.
I'm letting Jerry do his process, Yeah. I've got mine. It looks very similar to what he's doing in some ways. And so I'm just going to stay back and just see what he makes of the situation.
Yeah, absolutely. What happens here, Jerry, as you stumble around this room, kind of looking things over, looking at the cages? You don't notice that you clip the door of 2 of these cages, and they come unlatched. And so 2 of these creatures come just flying right out of their cages. They were already worked up, didn't like that you were getting close to them. And so you are immediately taken to the ground by these things. I think one of them is going to get their claws into you for 2 harm.
Oh, I think they're friendly. Oh God, no, very much not.
That's a very interesting and innovative investigation technique. I would like them. Can you put them back, please?
Yeah, I'll work on that part. Can I try to kick some ass?
Yeah, absolutely.
Hell yeah. What with my unholy strength, I use my off-putting weirdness to attack them instead.
Yeah, seems reasonable.
We've all been in that conversation.
That's a 13.
I am that conversation.
So I think I rolled a 13. So I think what with them tackling me, I land on the trash bag, and a half-used bottle of canola oil cracks open, and I'm very slippery now. So as they're trying to grab onto me, I think I just slip right out. And I think as I pull out my crossbow, I would like to try to use put them where I want them as the extra from rolling at 10+.
Yeah, absolutely.
And get them back in the cage, please, please.
Yeah, I think that you're able to kick these creatures off of you and kind of get them in a position where you almost just threaten them into hey, chill out. The same way that you would treat any animal. You're like, yo, I
think
have
you're
this.
the alpha now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you're able to get them to back off of you. They're not going fully back into the cages. You're going to have to give it a little more than that, I'd think. But you've definitely got them pushed off of you. But they're eyeing both of you carefully.
My crossbow would do 2 harm plus 1 harm from ancient fighting arts. So 3 harm. Close.
Absolutely. Yeah, they are not pleased to have been shot. And I think what would happen here, now that they aren't really able to get close up on you, one of them would be looking to meet your gaze. Etris, can you roll plus cool for me?
I can. Now is the question, can I roll it well?
Ooh.
Because that's a different answer.
Yes.
Ooh, I did roll an 8 on the dice for an 8.
Right. Wonderful. So you feel a similar feeling to Ari. You start to feel your body stiffen and your joints and ligaments not quite moving as well as you'd like. As you meet this thing's gaze and you see one just glaring yellow eye peeking out at you, but you're able to break that eye contact. You're going to just take a -1 going forward on your next roll.
Etris just literally spins around and faces the other wall, just out of pure animal instinct.
Oh my God, so brave, turning your back on them.
Look at him.
Well, I wish I was that confident. It's a good thing I'm just not a very big eye contact guy. So what do we do now? I mean, do we shove him? Do we let him go?
I think...
keep looking down.
I think, Jerry, you're very much distracted by Etris suddenly turning around. The one that had been looking at Etris is going to try and ram you with its rack of antlers here.
He's like, roll cool to avoid making eye contact. It's like, dude, you're going to have to spend luck to make me make eye contact.
Yeah. No,
Absolutely.
again, Etris is fueled by irrational interest and curiosity. And to be like, well, what's going on over there?
Let me peer into those deep, soulful eyes. Let me see what's going on deep in your conscious. So I'm getting gored.
Yeah, it's gonna try and gore you. You can act under pressure to try and move away. I think you'd have enough time to react to that.
Okay, so that's 10. 5 plus 4 is plus 1, 10.
Great. Yeah. I love playing this as just like a comedic moment of you turn over to Etris, this thing jumps at you, and you just like walked over towards Etris and it completely misses you and goes flying into the wall behind you.
Is there anything else we needed here, or are we just what should we just keep moving?
Just to also, this is Nathan asking the question. There's no creatures that are out at the moment. Is that correct?
There are still 2 Chimera that are out, but they've been damaged, but they have not been coaxed fully back into their cages.
Etris is while his back is turned. Here's the question that Jerry has asked, and you hear back just a and then a gulp as Etris swallows something, and then he turns around. And I'm going to describe this with flavor as opposed to mechanics necessarily. And Jason, please,
I will interpret
this as if it were precisely. So my character has various weapons, and they're not just the kind of base weapons that one would, kind of normally find, just like a pistol or whatever. One of them is a flamethrower, and so Etris turns around with his eyes closed, just truly willy-nilly, trying, vaguely remembering maybe where the lab equipment was. We'll see. But just like erupts this belch of fire that just like, bah. And if it hits the creatures, fine. But mostly he is interested in just like this big explosion of heat that kind of makes them back off and gives us a little bit of space.
Wonderful. Yeah. So are you more interested in doing damage, or are you more interested in providing space for you guys to perhaps leave this room?
Definitely the latter.
Okay. In that case, I'm going to say, because like this is not a for certain things it makes more sense for it to be a use magic roll because that is the nature of it, but like Etris, you are a professional in this regard. You know how to, or as professional as you can be, you know how to mix things together in a certain way to provide the things that you desire. So if it's not kick some ass because it's not a action that you want to do damage with, then I'm going to say I'll leave this to you. Do you think that this is a act under pressure roll, which would be plus cool, or do you think that this is simply a use magic? I can see the argument really either way.
I will do the honorable thing of kind of, it feels like act under pressure, help out, even though that is the lesser of my options. And I'm technically using a flamethrower, and I'd like to really rather use a flamethrower than be like, I use magic. No, it's a flamethrower.
Yeah.
So I'm going to roll that with my no bonus and get a 5.
Am I able to help?
Not a 5 won't push you up because it only push you up
helping hands, which adds 2 if I succeed.
Okay. Then that would push you to a mixed success. I will also take the opportunity to remind you of your friendship with Oberon.
Yes,
will allow you to raise the success level of a roll by a level of magnitude, so you can move failure to mixed success in this case if you desire.
Before you decide to bump that fail up, I think the real question is Jerry flammable? Because if not, there's nothing to worry
covered in
about.
canola oil. I will remind the group.
I know. As soon as that happened, that's what really extra made the connection. My brain is like, unfortunately, this reminds me of my flamethrower, and I can't not use my flamethrower, I think. So this could go real bad depending on how things go.
Full circle back to Seinfeld.
All right, so I'm going to roll to help out. That is Snake Eyes.
Interesting.
Hell yeah. Cool. Jerry's super confident that he can help, being as his normal boss also has a flamethrower. So he's like, hell yeah, this is perfect. I think Jerry has forgotten about the canola oil, though.
It's been a really high octane last 3 seconds or so it makes sense.
Object permanence is hard.
Yeah. Are we doing anything to elevate this, or are we living with our consequences of our actions?
You said we have 2 luck, right? Might as well.
Yeah, we have 2 luck.
Hey.
All right, I'll burn one of those, bring it up to a 7.
There we go.
Or bring mine up to a 12, bring his up to a 7.
Wonderful. On a mixed success of this gout of flame entering the room. Interesting. What you wanted from this was to push the creatures back to create space for you to be able to leave. Yes?
Ideally.
I think what will happen here is Jerry, you help out to create space. You see something on the desk. You see a vial of something. It looks similar to one of the potions that Etris has been flinging around today. So you just quickly grab it and throw it into the gout of flame as this is coming out.
Double toilet trouble.
Yeah.
Respect the shit out of that move, for the record.
Yeah. This creates a small explosion in this room. How much damage does the flamethrower generally do?
I am both excited and reluctant to share that it is 3 damage.
I see. So what we will do is that because it is dispersed more, we will reduce that to 2. But, Etris, you are flung to the door of this room downstairs. So there was a stairway where you entered, a main hall of the room, and then a door on the opposite side. You are flung to this door, but Jerry, you are flung into the opposite wall along with these 2 chimeras, which fortunately, but unfortunately for them, are burnt to a crisp from this. And everyone in the room is going to take 2 harm.
I am unstable.
Up above, Rev and Cap, you hear and you feel Pythian Castle shake underneath you as it as a small explosion goes off.
Does the creature we're fighting also take a moment to look around, just like we do?
Yeah. The creature is mounted on top of Selina's back and just stops and goes.
It was not me.
And looks around slightly.
Didn't you tell them no explosives?
I'm sure it's fine.
I'm gonna bite this thing that's on me.
Hell yeah.
You almost gator roll it, roll it over and get your teeth on its neck. Go ahead and kick some ass.
Okay.
Gullicochica gator roller?
Mm-hmm. Because I also have unholy strength, that is a 13.
My God. Okay.
So Selina, with her mouth, she has 2 different attacks. She's got one that is 3 harm, armor defeating, and then she has another which is just 1 harm, but it's life drain.
Ooh.
And I think that because this thing has hurt her, she tries to feed on it to do some life drain.
Yeah, absolutely. As you sink your lamprey teeth into the neck of this chimera, you and Ari, you can see this much easier than Selina could, you see a like poison green symbol light up on this thing's forehead and start to it lights up in the form of a circle with a line through it, and then you see it dissipate as Selina, you absorb some magic from this and you regain 1 point of health.
Selina, if you wouldn't mind holding that creature steady for just a moment. Very good.
Sounded like Selina's dentures that fell out suddenly.
I would like to try to burn everything, which is not as dangerous as it sounds.
Yeah, as we found out as well.
Fascinating.
Hell yeah. In for a penny, in for a pound.
Exactly. Mr. Keeper, is that okay with you? Mr. Jason, sir.
Please.
Okay. I'm going to take out my katana and face it in the direction of this creature as it begins to glow green. And we'll see how this goes. Okay. 8 on the dice, plus 3. We got there. This is a use magic roll, as is, but it can do 2 separate things, much like Selina's Bite. I am going to choose 3 harm, ignore armor, magic, obvious, as a burst of green energy shoots from the tip of this katana and makes contact with the creature.
Yeah, you see this light come through, and as it is held by its neck by Selina, this burst of energy comes from the tip of your katana and hits it square through where you saw that symbol was burned in its head, and it goes right through the other side, and this thing goes limp in your mouth, Selina.
All right, well, that wasn't so bad.
I think we solved the mystery. I'll help Selina up. Now, you said there were...
What did you see?
Hundreds of eyes, correct?
Yeah.
That's unfortunate. I believe this creature only has 2.
Selina, looks down and kind of nudges it. Oh, shit, you're right.
We feel the floorboard shake.
Yeah.
You said you think we solved the mystery. What'd you notice?
Oh, no, I just meant we solved this particular room's chimera mystery.
Oh, I see.
Congratulations.
We've solved your giant horrible lizard puzzle.
We did it, Joe.
Let's perhaps check in with Scooby and Shaggy. I'm going to turn on the walkie-talkie. Gentlemen, have you had any luck in, well, I suppose it's a castle, in the dungeon?
Good news, boss. We did what you said. There's a big old fire down here.
Yeah, using the explosives was a great idea. I think it really helped.
I don't know if you can hear that over the crackling of this bonfire down here, but going great, Captain.
Selina, I fear we've made a terrible mistake. Do you think perhaps we should meet up?
So are you...
Let me
just try to fight our way to him.
We found a chimera type creature and dispatched it quickly. I'm sure it was the only one here.
Well, the only one in your room, or the whole place? Because that's...
You sound like you have
maybe
knowledge.
A different kind of experience with ours.
A whole bunch of cages.
Full of chimeras.
Yep.
This one was not in a cage. That's interesting.
I have not seen one shark in hand form or otherwise.
Nope. Very true. We came down these stairs, and there might be some other stairs, and there's this weird lab, which is, maybe something, obviously you do a lot with a lab.
Mm-hmm.
Is the lab still standing?
As good citizens, nope.
Perfect.
I mean, some, yep.
Nothing good.
Oh yeah, the area right around the fire extinguisher is A-okay.
Nothing good ever came from a basement lab. I don't think it's anything to worry about. Why don't the two of you make your way up here and we can search the rest of the house, unless there's any mysteries to be solved down in the basement dungeon.
Well, there might be more down to this down, I think. Is that true, Jason?
Yeah.
I remember, did I understand? I got thrown against a door?
Yeah, you got thrown against a
door down. Can I peek?
Yeah, you would open up the door and see that it is a hallway going across. It would open up into a slightly larger room that looks to be more in the center of the building.
But there's more downstairs. So again, I don't know if there's I assume probably more house to the upstairs house castle situation.
We've not even left the foyer.
This was our first room too.
This is a terrible place.
We may have to take a rest.
I've got unfortunate news about that.
And I'm burned a little bit, and I am lightly sauced.
Yeah, the world he comes from must be real different if taking a rest does anything for you.
A good rest cures a lot of ills, right?
Selina, I'll put the ball in your court here. Should we continue on through the middle and upper layers or group up?
I think I'm going to try again to just kind of close my eyes and scent the air and see, like, okay, the scent that was on this card, is it up? Is it down? Because that seems to be the person that was in control as opposed to the thousands of creatures it has at its disposal.
Yeah. Go ahead and roll trust your gut.
Okay.
Hold on, everybody. Selina's doing the smell thing again. I'll keep you updated.
God, I wish I was there. It
is fascinating. There's a noise when you're up close to it. It's very interesting.
Yeah, the way the I don't know, clampers, chompers, whatever they are, really rhythmic, kind of entrancing.
I don't mean to be the odd man out. It does nothing for me. I really could do that.
We're not speaking of that. It is fascination.
So 8, and I think that as I'm doing this, that bracelet pulses and the magic from that rolls up into her mouth as well. So I'm going to use that to bump up to a full success.
Great,
wonderful.
cool.
You can smell the magic here, and there's magic all around you, just residual like traces of things moving about. But this scent in particular would lead you, as you are walking through, you would circle around the foyer into some of the side rooms of this building, and it would lead you to a very like ornate looking office that seemed to have been like very official in times. There's those big like hardwood desks, nice rugs, many walls lined with bookshelves, and there's one bookshelf in particular that scent seems to linger and go through.
I think maybe we should all reconvene. I can get a sense that there's maybe like a hidden door behind a bookshelf. I don't know if it's straight to the basement or straight to the attic, but that's the way we want to go.
All right. I mean, hey, again, like I said, I trust those click-clackers. We're heading your way.
Like that.
My only one thing would be, being a genre savvy brain, if there's a dungeon and they're keeping Sharky Joe down somewhere, probably going to be in the dungeon somewhere. But if there's a master to go bait, then we could go upstairs to find you.
No one's interrupting you. You just got to keep talking. I'm sorry.
You have to live with that.
Sorry, what was your war cry again?
Jarbo, rocket shocking and clocking and drop a cock in it. We're going upstairs.
If Sharkan Luke is in a dungeon, I am sure that he will not be making his way out of said dungeon anytime soon. So we can always go back.
Okay, so Etris and Jerry, are you going to move through the downstairs area, or are you going to go like back up around through the like outside of the building?
Oh yeah, we're going back up around. We're not again. Etris, like, don't split the party. What are we doing? We're being safe here. So
fair enough.
I could really use a group hug. So
we don't do that here. You two look terrible. Does anyone need any healing of any sort?
Yes, please.
If that's the thing you can do.
It is immensely painful, but I can do it.
Question: how marinara sauce based is your healing? Because for me, typically it has been incredibly and alarmingly marinara based.
I'm going to have to go ahead and say none. It is none marinara based.
Well, okay, I guess.
Ari, you know what I like about you?
Please tell me.
You don't mince words. It's refreshing.
Yeah, I'm actually pretty good friends with William Shakespeare, and he gets enough of the words in. Anyway, Hold on, Jerry. Hold on to this.
Are we supposed to know who that is, or?
I
don't.
Again, just like I'm also undead and friends with William Shakespeare. Just Selina just gets that 1,000-yard stare just into the void.
The combination of I'm friends with William Shakespeare, you being shell shocked by it, and then the next person over being like, I don't know what that is powerful.
I'm gonna try to roll. This might sting on Mr. Darbo. Let's hope this is going to be my bad roll finally, isn't it? Nope, that's on Jerry. You're fine.
Amazing. Rolling hot.
Excellent.
Yeah.
I reserved my worst roll for Jerry's health.
Spent an entire season rolling absolute dog water, so now I'm rolling very hot. Okay. It heals 3 harms, but it is exceptionally painful. Nobody look. Give me a moment.
I don't want to do it to you guys, but Jerry screams real bad.
I cover your mouth. With a
Jerry,
I put a ravioli in your mouth out of your pocket.
It's like a
Bite this.
Bite down on this.
Frozen ravioli.
Can I also like uncork something from my various bandoliers and use magic to heal a harm from injury?
Yeah.
Because I also got crunched just a bit crunched.
Just a minor crunch.
What is that movie where the kid's sleeping and the little goblin comes out from the wall and like breathes in her breath and the cat chases it away?
Whoa. That sounds like a nightmare. I have no idea.
It's like an 80s horror movie. But these little things in the wall try to steal your breath. And it was like that part of the movie was the breath was like animated. I just imagine that's what Selina is doing over Jerry as he's screaming. She's just breathing in his screams.
So alarming.
Yeah. So Etris is going to be chugging potions away from all that. Thank you. I rolled a 9 total with a -1 from the
ongoing.
I remember what the ongoing. Yes, exactly.
Or not ongoing. Sorry, forward.
Cat's eye.
Yes, right.
Rev.
Cat's eye. Yes.
So that would have a glitch, I think, unfortunately. So it has a problematic side effect, which feels pretty on brand.
Interesting. Problematic side. I feel like I need to embrace the fact that you're from 5e.
Mm-hmm.
I think we need to take a roll on the wild magic table.
Oh my god. That's what I got you at a D20.
Let's get some flumps in here.
Just skip the one of, like you cast fireball on yourself kind of thing.
Yeah.
I mean, or don't. It's your game.
Hell
You do whatever you want.
I
1d4
feel like,
flumps blow up the rest of the fucking castle.
Yeah.
yeah. So, if you have a D100, roll that.
Believe it or not, I don't, but I will program it into this dice roller. One moment. 55.
Okay, 55. Etris, you take out one of your potions, drink it. You feel immediately reinvigorated. Every hair on your body falls off in like a like new formed like snow falling off a building. Like you remember?
Oh, it's this one.
Yeah.
Oh well, that's fine. I really got to get my label maker fixed. But that's fine.
It
fine.
suits you.
It's like in the Harry Potter movies when we see the Whomping Willow and it just shakes and all the leaves come off at once. It's like that.
Yeah, there's a big sneeze and just
not so Harry Potter.
You're gonna be so good at swimming. It's like zero drag.
A little bit of canola oil and you'll be good to go.
Slipping
You both
and
smell
sliding.
delicious, by the way. Anyway, secret doorway.
Hydrodynamic
we must
now.
be
It's the marinara sauce.
Hell yeah.
Please don't trip on the dead chimera. It was like that when we got here. Anyway, to the study.
Quick question. Also, Jason, is this chimera the same size as the ones that we fought, or is it bigger?
So the ones that you fought, now that you think about it and you have comparison, there are some minute differences between the builds of them. This one has rabbit legs that I was jumping off with, but you distinctly remember like some of them having they were more monkey-like and had like a long tail to it.
Well, this one's different than our ones. Don't know if that's valuable information, but it is factual.
I'm getting a mad scientist sort of vibe here in a castle.
Oh, yeah.
You wouldn't know anything about that.
A lot of the trappings, you know. Well, you know, I've gone on my own kind of various journeys and transformations. I've learned, you know, kind of the things that I need to say no to, you know, so as not to go down such darker roads. But I mean, yes, I have maybe known how to make a chimera. I haven't done it, but like
much like your.
But that's not
much like
not
your
important.
bottles labels are not important here.
No. Yes, exactly. Well, maybe for them it doesn't matter.
All right, checkers. We will be going over the history of our world, Rixia, between the years 30 BU, or before Ultra, and 10 AU. Our focus will be on the last days of the Pentarchy, the group of 5 great sorcerers and their role in shaping our continent by awakening the...
Valeska, you told me this one already. Old magic people, blah, blah. Destroyed a city with one of the suns, blah, blah, blah. How come I have to be here and Mango doesn't?
Because Mango's a frog and can't read. Now turn your book to page 394. The defense of the great city of Lotras and the slaying of the first Ultra Giant.
Fine.
Kaskrin, what are you doing? Get to shelter! The Ultra Giant is coming, and this whole city's about to be rubble. This isn't a job for the City Watch. We should be evacuating too.
You see there? The banner of the 3rd Brigade still stands. The city is not lost. We have a duty to Lotros and its citizens. This is a time when the people need us most. If I can get even one more person to safety, I will.
The 12 preserve us. All right, Kaskrin, let's go.
So what? The city stands and the Ultra Giants fled. What's that got to do with me?
Really, checkers? You don't see the guild badge on your vest? The world needs heroes, and we're going to be on the front lines with the rest of the guilds. Actually, I think we have a new member joining us soon.
Brother Selv, a letter has come for you from the Golden Tree Guild.
That's impossible. They lost their guild hall centuries ago.
It appears that someone is putting them back together. Here, read this.
Selv Astralin of the Bingjuzi Monastery. We formally invite you to join the reformed Guild of the Golden Tree. Although the Ultra Giants have vanished, the people of this world need your strength and wisdom now more than ever. Interesting.
This is the world our brave adventurers find themselves in. This is the world of Reckless Attack, a Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition actual play podcast. Welcome to our table.
Hey everyone, thanks for listening to Memester of the Week. I hope you're really enjoying the crossover. It was an insane amount of fun. That was obviously a trailer for Reckless Attack. Nathan playing Etris in this episode has just been wonderful. If you would like to hang out with us on social media, we have a Twitter and a Blue Sky and a Tumblr. We also are in the Actual Place Discord server, where that is just a ton of fun. We're also on Twitch, Streamster of the Week. We've been playing Inscription, Nancy Drew. I'm deeply considering just playing Hades all the time there. So yeah, come hang out with us. It's a ton of fun. Rate and review the show, because it really helps to just tell people that, hey, you like this thing and you want to share this thing with the world, and that's wonderful. And so links to all of that nonsense is in the link in the bio, the nice little link tree in the bio. So go check it out. And thanks so much for listening. And buy yourself a coffee today, because you deserve it. Bye.
Hidden shelf, you said? There's books, something?
Yeah, Selina, please lead the way.
Yeah, I'm going to look around and see if I can find the... what I'm going to assume is the, I don't know...
Candlestick.
Island of Dr. Moreau, or... I'm just trying to decide which book pulls open the...
Ooh, yeah.
Cabinet of Dr. Caligari.
Weird that it's Henry Winkler's autobiography.
It's not really. Once you get towards the end of the autobiography, it'll make perfect sense.
Now him, William Shakespeare, don't know. Henry Winkler? Oh, yeah. Love that guy. Hey.
It's a copy of the Cask of Amontillado that you just like pull out, and the bookshelf swings open for you. And there is a stairway leading down. And you can, roll read a bad situation.
Hey, boxcars. 13.
Ooh. Wonderful. So hold 3 here. And what questions would you like to ask?
Yeah, I think the first and most important is, are there any dangers we haven't noticed?
Yeah, as you are heading down here, you see that there are lights in this area that are lit up. It looks like a firelight because it is flickering. So maybe some candles or lanterns have been being used down here. And you get that distinctive smell of like kerosene being used. And as you are coming down the stairs, you see, starting to like reflect in the in this firelight coming into the stairway, a large shadow kind of go across the doorway, and you start to hear voices speaking about someone has found this project. We need to leave.
Boy, it seems obvious, but what's the best way in?
Selina, you would know that there's only one way in right now for you. It is this stairwell. You would not be aware of another entrance to this room in front of you.
What's the biggest threat?
Jerry.
As Jerry is the biggest threat to all of us.
Yes.
Spiritually.
Yes.
The biggest threat here, as you are coming down these steps, you hear one of these voices like, unlock the maid cage. This could keep whoever is here busy while we get out of here. And you hear it like a large cage door start to creak open.
Oh, I don't think I can help myself. I think I sprint into that room.
Right behind you.
Like Selina just breaks into a sprint, and I'm going to try to like shoulder check that closed.
Ooh, okay. I would say act under pressure here.
Okay. Probably not a good sign that my dice got stuck in the tower. 8.
8. Okay. So on an 8, you are going to get this closed, but I think I'm going to give you a hard choice here.
Okay.
As you run down the steps into this room, you see 2 people, a well-dressed man with like dark slicked back hair, talking to a figure that seems completely just covered in robes. And they appear to be arguing about like what is the best thing to do here. The figure in robes is holding like pile of research materials. It looks like many like notebooks of information, and the well-dressed man is going over to this large cage, and you can see a massive chimera just on the other side of this cage. And I'm actually going to drop a little piece for you guys in the chat, in the Discord chat, so you can see it. Because what you see is this large...
Well, that's a hand-drawn horror. Good.
The best kind.
Yeah.
Yep.
So you see this large, wide, gangly kind of creature coming up to the head at about 9 feet, and then the rack of antlers on top of it extending up for another 3 feet. So this is almost the height of this room. And it is wide set with a massive mane and a long snout. It seems to have kind of a forked tongue flicking out, and this set of just massive dragon claws that are crunching into the marble underneath for this just very large chimera. And so my basically hard choice here for you, Selina, is you can get to the cage and get it closed, or you can grab the person who has the research materials and kind of get the person who seems to be the most knowledgeable about this information. So you'll have to choose between information or the threat here.
Yeah, I don't even think it would be on my mind to deal with the people. Like, I heard the cage. The intent was to close the cage, so.
All right, yeah. So you run over and you shoulder check this tall man out of the way and get this cage door held closed as this chimera takes its large claw and grips at the cage.
A little help would be nice.
Everyone else, you come to the bottom of the stairs. You see Selina slam this cage closed. What are you doing?
I'd like to read a bad situation. This seems bad.
Yeah, please.
Is the cage locked now, or are they only holding it closed? Like,
they are holding it closed.
Gotcha.
With
their unholy strength.
7.
My unholy strength,
if you will. On a 7, you get one question.
Would it be, what's the best way to protect the victims? I don't know that there's are we the victims in this circumstance? I think it technically maybe we would be.
As you look around this room, you see that massive cage taking up the main focus of the room, if you will, of this giant chimera. At the same time, you look around and you see some subsequent cages around the room, including a man that looks like he has a shark for a hand, 2 smaller looking women who have some very pointed ears and very smooth features, and a red long dragon in a large cage in the back of the room.
Squeeze?
Gentlemen, please try to stop the humanoids from leaving this room. I want to try to use magic to communicate with something I do not share a language with. I would like to try to speak Chimera.
Okay. Do you have Dark Negotiator?
I don't. That is true. Just trying to use the magic effect.
Yeah, I will save you the roll here. Okay. Mechanically, it won't be able to understand you because there's a little more going on with it than just it is a creature that shares a different language than you.
That's fair. That's fair enough.
Out of curiosity, when you use that move, to communicate with something, do you start speaking its language or do you make it speak your language?
It says communicate with something that you do not share the language with. What I've always flavored it is the runes on Ari's neck start to glow green and he starts speaking whatever they understand.
Okay. I just asked because I have Dark Negotiator, so if it started talking. Okay.
I guess then I'm just going to try to trap a creature. I'm going to try to use magic to bolster Selina's holding it back.
Okay, yeah.
There it is. 4 on the dice. +3, 5, 6, 7. +3 helps. Okay. So a glitch. Oof. I'll say, because I love attention, that my magic draws immediate unwelcome attention.
Yeah. So how do you communicate and use this magic to communicate this effect?
With my hands, I'll make the symbols of Fey runes in the air in front of me, and the green magic surrounds my hands and then flies towards the cage and just holds a bright green rune against the cage door.
Yeah, I think that magic flies over and pins the cage door shut, right next to Selina's head. And the 2 people in this room see that magic go across, and the one that is just like fully in robes. This figure just goes, fascinating. And they drop their research knowing like, okay, there are people here now. We no longer have any time. And they clap their hands together and place their hands to the floor, and a like wave of earth rumbles across the floor, and I need everyone to act under pressure.
Hello, I'm Ari Green. These are my friends.
Snake eyes, baby.
So I have just another day. Would this be because of a monster phenomenon or mystical effect?
Yeah, this is definitely a mystical effect.
Thank goodness. Ooh, I got a 9.
8.
I got a 10. A listener made these dice for me. I'm never using anything but them again.
Yeah, wow. Wild. Etris?
I rolled snake eyes.
There it is.
Got 2 total.
There we go. Okay, yeah, as this wave kind of comes across, Selina, you're able to kind of jump over this effect and kind of see it coming, perhaps partially because of your natural like sense of magic. You can see it a little better than everyone else because it is colored in this almost like a bronzy light that is emanating out of this person. For Etris, you are this wave comes through, the earth like rumbles under everyone's feet, and Etris, you see the ground underneath you open up slightly and grab your legs and hold you in place. Jerry and Ari, you also see this kind of emanate out. The ground underneath you doesn't quite take, so you're going to stumble a little bit. You're going to get a -1 going forward here, but you are still able to easily move throughout this room.
That's just rude.
The other man in this room that Selina, you shoved out of the way, takes note of what's going on and the fact that you shoved him. And he's like, well, that's very rude. Brings his hand up and just pushes out a force of lightning at you, Selina.
Eat it.
Yeah, I think that Selina opens her mouth and starts to breathe in, and I would like to use like force Kirby. Of will, which allows me to negate a magical effect.
Fascinating. Yeah, please roll that.
Jerry's scream erupts.
Okay, well, I'll roll it first before I get into the text. Just in case. 9, 10.
Crushing it.
Wow. Amazing.
So force of will, when you apply your will to dispelling a magical effect, blocking a spell, or suspending a phenomenon, roll plus weird on a hit. Momentary magics are canceled completely, and long-lasting spells and effects are suspended temporarily. On a 10+, you can also spend a point of luck to instantly snuff out a powerful spell or strange effect. But I don't think I want to do that for what seems like an attack.
Yeah, no. You start to see this web of electricity start to emanate out towards you, and you open your mouth like you're Kirby and fully inhale this lightning. You swallow it, and then suddenly you have a little hat on your head that has a lightning bolt on it.
I suddenly am covered in robes and have a stack of papers.
And this well-dressed man goes, oh, shit, and starts trying to run for the door.
I would like to do a thing, even though I am stuck, if at all possible.
Please.
I would like to rummage around in my various things, pull out another potion, and I would like to try and use magic to where was it? Bar a place or portal to a specific person or type of creature. And, Etris takes the, hey, don't let anyone leave here. I'm not going to say too literally, but really doesn't think, isn't concerned with kind of the like implications of like, well, we should bar it to, I don't know, all humans or something. And so he just if I am able, would like to just throw together a couple of potions and then awkwardly wrench his back around and throw a potion at the door and have it explode with like webbing and like goo concoction.
Absolutely.
Just so that no one can go through.
So
presumably a large creature could, but humans could not.
Okay, yeah, absolutely. Roll that, please.
I rolled snake eyes again.
Oh no.
So I may have to go get actual dice and not this dice roller. But also, I was just going to say I haven't used my luck yet.
Yeah.
And this feels like a good time to just...
Yeah,
it's not like the most impactful, but it's impactful enough.
Yeah, you have 2 luck and also the gift.
That you guys see this like puff of smoke go up in Etris's face, and he just like reacts and accidentally flings a bottle that happens to go in the right direction and do the right thing. And as he coughs through, he's like, that still counts. All right. Great job. Good job. Me. Self high five.
Caught it. Yeah. This man is running for the door. Sees from over his shoulder this bottle crash against the door, immediately explode into webbing. It actively is just baffled by all the things that are happening to him today.
That is the Etris guarantee. You may not like it, but you will be baffled.
This is what peak Etris looks like. Fascinating. I'm like mentally putting together like, okay, They would just turn heel and realize like their only way out of this room is now the stairwell that you 4 are between. And so they just call out, "All right, kids, it's dinner time." And you hear a rumbling from above you in the building.
Etris is making another potion to bar more entries for anything.
Selina, we need to let these creatures know that we are on their side and we are here to free them from their captors.
Would that make it my turn?
Yes, please, Jerry. I've been waiting.
Please.
So excited.
Please.
Jarman time! Jerry is very unclimactically going to kind of just amble over to the notes and try to see if he can figure out. He wants to try to read some of them to see if there's any instructions on how to like command these chimeras, to see if he can get any intel on like, how to get them to stop attacking us, please.
Yeah. Roll investigate a mystery.
Ooh. Oh, do I have a minus sharp? I don't. I have a 0 sharp. Perfect. That'll be a 9, but I think I will use my little wristband to bring it up to a 10.
Tight.
Amazing.
So that gives you 2 questions in investigate?
Yes, indeed. Let me check the exact wording on which one I want to pick. Because I feel like maybe what is being concealed here, to see if there's some trick to commanding them that they are trying to keep from us.
Nice.
Yeah, you very quickly run over and are looking over this desk next to this berobed being and see these notes on control and control of other creatures, specifically ones of a magical origin. And you see that the way that they exercise control over them is this alchemical, almost like a curse that has been digested into their bloodstream to give them this magical effect of subservience.
Don't like that.
So then I think second question would be, what can hurt it? And by hurt it, I mean the curse.
I would say that like the way that this is implemented, the things that are controlled this way need a continued diet of the like mixtures that are necessary to implement this. So if that was flushed from their system, they would no longer be answering to that. At the same time, though, you do see a note further down about there being a recent breakthrough that this is no longer needed on subject 623.
Alrighty. So what I'm hearing is if they maybe ate some like say spoiled ravioli and got some food poisoning and then threw up all of this magical control food. That's what I'm hearing. That's
if only someone had a bag of garbage from another dimension.
And marinara sauce.
I think Jerry's gonna run over to Etris and be like, with your alchemical genius and my culinary failures, together we can combine to make the perfect poison.
I'm looking to see if there's an obvious. Well, I can use magic to heal, to cure a disease or neutralize a poison.
Yep.
Would you say that being alchemically influenced is a poison
a little bit
to their minds and
list.
spirits and
There
souls?
is banish a curse.
Probably.
Yeah, there's banish a curse. I would.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Also that.
I would absolutely say that this is in that wheelhouse, and doing it together with Jerry. I'm
Holy ravioli. We're doing holy ravioli.
Holy ravioli.
If you wanted this to be a one-off effect, this would be a use magic. If you want to create a charcuterie board of magic displacing ravioli, then I would think that this would be a big magic, which is not like a different stat, but just a different classification of what it is, essentially.
That seems reasonable.
You have ravioli from a different world, which is
trash ravioli.
A sentence. Yeah, trash ravioli from a different world.
Would you call that weird materials?
Yeah, definitely weird materials. You definitely are able to use magic. I am going to say that if you're going to prepare this is going to take you a little bit of time.
Well, we got nothing but time down here, baby.
Totally.
I'm relaxed.
You hear you hear things scrambling into the room above you. As this goes on, I think the berobed person, after seeing you guys kind of stumble around like this, runs over to the cage and claps their hands together, places a hand on the cage itself, and has the cage from the basically has the cage bars melt into a basically a pool of iron around them, and opens up the room for this chimera to move about freely.
Is this the cage that I was blocking and he just used magic on?
Yes.
Okay, so as soon as he gets over there, I'm going to bite him.
Get him.
Is this also the person who called? It was like, hey, time to eat.
Yes, correct.
Okay.
That was the separate person. Unfortunately, I'm not using proper names, so it's hard to tell the difference.
The berobed one.
10. And I'm gonna do the real hurty one so I can get their attention. And I think for my extra effect, I'm going to do extra harm. So it is 4 armor defeating.
Holy shit. That is a massive amount of harm. Okay.
I would like to do my best to stop his melty magic at the same time. He's trying to use magic on my magic, and I don't take kindly to that.
See, seems rude.
And ultimately, the chimera that's in the room with us could be the first test pilot for curse banishing raviolis. So we have some options.
Yep. I will say, Etris, as you are looking over and you have your attention turned to this cage, Etris and Jerry, you started with the G, man.
Yeah.
I'm naturally gonna
Gary Gergich, Larry Gergich, Gary Gergich, Jerry Gergich.
It was pronounced Jiff.
It was a whole thing.
As you see kind of the action move back towards this cage, you do see a placard on it that says experiment 623.
Oh boy.
Take for that what you will. Ari,
hello.
You are wanting to interrupt the transmogrification of this cage.
Yes, I too have force of will. Much the same move.
Tight.
I would like to try to block this spell if I could.
Please and thank you.
Thank you. Don't put your magic on my magic.
Jerry, on the other hand, has incredibly submissive will.
That is 8 plus 3, which is an 11. On a hit, momentary magics are canceled completely, and long-lasting spells and effects are suspended temporarily. It starts to melt, and then the green magic reforms it. No.
It's the time reversal from Zelda.
Oh, I was thinking Doctor Strange. Exactly.
Yeah.
I put my sword in a stone, and we go back in time.
Yeah. For like a brief second, this chimera is able to come free, and like it starts to step over the pool of iron. And then Cap, you see Ari's magic take hold on this pool of iron, and it reforms the cage around it, so its arm is out. But that is the only, like, it's pressed against the side of the cage. Like part of its rack caught in the cage, and its arm stretching out over. Yeah, Selina, you are lip locked on this creature.
It's a terrible hickey.
The least pleasurable hickey known to mankind.
And I think that, like, taking this huge chunk out of them, I would be like, I need you to calm the shit down. I have no idea if he can be reasoned with, but I'm gonna try to, like, hey, you don't want more of this, and I'll fucking give you more of it if you keep it up.
What she said.
Okay. Yeah, that would be a dark negotiator for sure.
Okay. And I took a kind of a domino move. So Selina has unnatural appeal.
Nice.
Where she uses her weird instead of her charm when she tries to manipulate someone. Oh, fuck, 11.
You can't stop us.
Wow.
Selina and Ari.
As long as I just keep only rolling weird.
That's how you do it.
Yeah, wild. I think that there's only been like maybe one full failure this entire game.
Etris is
and I gotta say, it's real rough over here.
Jerry Jarbo hasn't been doing too hot, but
we exploded the basement. So
that's true.
That's
on a mixed success, though. Full success on Dark Negotiator. Yeah, you get them to just kind of settle down. They're like, okay, Harker, call them off. And the well-dressed man curses and just says, stop. And you started to see like a pile of smaller chimera coming down the stairs, and they all freeze.
I think there's just a moment of like silence in the room and just looking at all of the little things not moving at each other. Everybody cool.
I'm gonna need.
Who are you?
Like a villain monologue right now, because we have you very surrounded and apparently outmatched. I am Ari Green. This is my friend Selina. This is Jerry, and this is Etris. We are not of your world, but we are here to protect it.
Interesting. And this is Harker, the well-dressed man, kind of speaking here. So you're not that. Oh, okay. That explains the way that your magics work. Right. Other worlds, other dimensions exist. Okay. Fascinating. Why are you here?
You don't get to ask the questions.
Oh, he's done this before. He's very good at this. He gives like Ari like a thumbs up.
Are you creating these abominations?
Of course, it's what we're paid to do.
Are you kidnapping these creatures? And I'll gesture towards my best friend, Shark Hand Joe.
Yeah, how dare you? How dare you hurt our good friend Shark Hand Joe? My little boy.
I'll gesture towards my best friend, Gary Darba.
The only man the four of us have ever concurrently loved.
This is how the Avengers were formed. You hurt Shark Hand Joe, and now we're here.
Exactly.
They're like, Jesus. Yes, we were told to take Fae and use them as part of the research.
You must be answering to someone pretty powerful if you're willing to anger the Fae. That's not a smart move in any world.
Agreed.
Yeah, I don't think he says anything to that.
Are either of you actually powerful, or do you just read your little scripts? And I gesture towards the papers on the ground that Jerry has compiled into a neat stack.
Neat but oily.
Very oily.
Huh. I don't know. I don't know if they would respond to that, because it would almost be like it's almost like a sheepish thing of like, well, I'm powerful, but like you just do magic. I can do things. It's their bad luck that they ran into two concurrent people who can just eat their shit in a world where that has not been a thing that exists.
We are shit eaters. I gesture to Etris and I gesture towards the greasy papers on the ground. He knows what to do.
Etris starts walking over and then eats a little bit of shit because he has not yet freed himself from the magic.
And there's all the oil.
Yeah, a lot of oil. Some webbing somehow gets caught in there, but eventually he like army crawls his way over with like 2 rock boots on his feet, essentially. But yeah, we'll start like going through and
I meant catch like them on fire.
Seeing... Oh well,
that's all I know that you know how to do. So,
well, Etris then will like literally have like he'll have a magnifying glass in one hand and a palm that is literally filled with just loose fire in the other hand, and he's like, I mean, I'm good either way. Do you have any preferences?
Are they reacting?
Yeah, you said that they must work for someone powerful. I think it's just another, like, they are fully, like, routed in this moment. They're being kind of, like, held at point. So they are not willing to give you too much more information, but they are not actively, like, working against you in this moment.
You said Sharkan Joe's in the room, right?
In a cage.
In a cage. If I start going over to try to release him, do they seem to like want to stop me, or will they let me?
They would both like notice you moving over there, and then they would notice that, and Harker would say, "Hey, if I have the keys, all right," and he like holds his hands up and say, "Okay, the keys are in my back pocket. I'm just gonna reach and grab those. I'll even turn so you can see it." And he just slowly reaches over, pulls out a key ring for you, and then tosses it across the room to you.
They slip through my hands.
It's greasy hands.
Your hands are covered in canola oil.
How does Sharkan Joe look? Like, is he like, "Hey guys, how's it going?" Or is he like,
Very good point.
Currently, Sharkan Joe is like kind of passed out on a cot in the room there.
Is the shark hand also passed out?
The shark is always alert and awake, swimming forward.
I have a question.
Yeah.
How many of us have used our little bracelet things?
I think
our little
2 of you have. Yeah.
Or if we use versus luck, I guess.
I used 1
there
luck.
have been 2 points of luck and 2 bracelets being used.
I was trying to think. Well, Etris will say like, well, so what he was explaining, what the scientist was explaining, was that these are all fey creatures, right?
Yeah.
Ultimately, is that correct?
Yeah.
Not like just science-made whatevers. So Etris will be like, well, hey, can we just ask the king to like come and get these critters and like put them back, or like open a door or something? We can like, throw some raviolis through and get them just back where they belong. It's not their fault that they're here. They're just doing what they're doing. And then this jerk, he gestures to the other guy, is the one who was, make them do weird stuff, capture our best friend, for example.
Our collective best friend.
We just put them back.
I guess it all depends on how long like that effect's gonna last on them. Do you have a sense of that, Jerry?
Sort of seems to me, based on my reading, that it's a dietary base for everyone except for that big guy in the cage. That everyone else, if it gets out of their system, sort of, it'll pass through. They'll be back to, well, at least they won't be under anyone's control. So, whatever that means. Could be feral, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, like being turned from whatever it was they used to be into, well, whatever they are now. What does that due to someone's mindset.
Well, I know that I am here to release Joe-bodied shark, so I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna pick up the keys and unlock the cage.
Joe-bodied shark.
Try to get my boy Joe out of here. Priority numero unjo.
Numero unjo. Amazing. Yeah, you're able to do that. Yeah, you're able to go and unlock the cages and start to like get the two sprites and Shark Hand Joe out of the cages. You go up to the cage with the long dragon, and it doesn't look like he is going to be able to. You're not even quite sure how they got him in here in the first place. He's not going to be able to go up the stairs, but he does have like a large muzzle on his
we
snout.
can't have that.
So did you guys like build the castle around the dragon, or what?
You guys have portal magic, right?
Of course not.
Gaslighting.
That's the most fucking no but situation I've ever heard in my life.
Well, say that we did, hypothetically.
Hypothetically.
If we were to research this new phenomenon of portal travel, what are you getting at?
You can make a portal to a different area of the world and pull something through without having to worry about necessarily the confines that you will be keeping said object in.
You two are terrible. I want you to know that. I'm very disappointed in you.
I'll keep mind of that.
None of us are from here. I suppose we can ask Oberon if there's some sort of jail process. I assume there is. It's probably terrible. The Fae like to hold a grudge.
I mean, that's pretty true.
Yeah.
I don't mean to. We only just met this guy Oberon, but my impression is he's probably a pretty shitty guy to people he doesn't like. You know, we might be able to put in a good word for you though if you like tell us who you're working for or why you're doing all this shit.
Alternatively, you could tell us who you're working for, and we can not send you to an empty demi-plane for the rest of eternity. I lied. I can do portals very well.
See, I didn't even know that was an option. I was just going to send you to Staten Island.
Same thing.
Damn it. Got him.
You fucking eat shit. The true enemy of this campaign.
Harker looks over and notes Selina is a full-on, what he would consider a fae. Ari is very clearly very magically powerful. Etris, I can't remember. Do you appear human, right?
Yep, I am.
Yeah, you're human. I think of all the people here, Harker would lock eyes with Jerry and Etris and just ask them, you know what it's like to be human and weak. And haven't you ever wanted to be something more than that?
I'm Jerry Jarbo, motherfucker. I became something more than that.
He does have a point.
Absolutely amazing. I work for an organization called the Children of Lilith. And that's all we want, is for mankind to be more resilient than they are currently.
And you're trying to do that with so I don't know that I'm quite following the A to B here. You know, you're kidnapping fake creatures and then you kill a bunch of people and then humans are better. Is that the idea?
Well, the idea behind any sort of human testing for a product or experiment is generally you go through animal testing first.
Oh, so you wanted to make like shark hand people.
We want to just be more like them. And Harker gestured to Shark Hand Joe.
Because I just saw it on screen. I think at the phrase, it starts with animal testing. Selina and Ari both visibly tense.
Did you catch that?
Etris does too, actually.
Yeah.
Etris does too. Etris gives an actual straight up big scowl. Have you done anything to yourself yet?
And he just smiles a little, and you see like a row of very sharp teeth in his mouth, and says, "Wouldn't you like to know?"
Shark mouth Harker. So, what are sort of rules of engagement here?
We're kind of stuck in a limbo here. We're just going to take him back to the king, or we're going to kill him, or what's the deal?
Should, do these wristbands call Oberon? Hello, Oberon. Can you read me?
I was going to say, this seems like, I mean, hey, we figured it out. We solved the mystery. We got things relatively stable. But, hey, we did our part of the fight. And seems like the king, right? He's in charge. So,
maybe one of my teammates has this thing. They have this phone with a power hell thing. And they summon all types of creatures. So maybe between all of us, if I can find one of those old phones in this here trash bag, we could amplify the signal. Try to get Oberon here.
That sounds incredibly dangerous. I'm in.
It's very true.
I'll help.
So. Can I try to roll preparedness to see if I have one of Lucas's old power hell phones?
Yeah. So Etris and Jerry, you're trying to figure that out. Selina and Ari, I want you to just roll a flat, just a sharp check for me real quick to see what you see.
Boxcars +2.
Oh my God.
So pretty good then.
So pretty good.
Pretty good. Ari, you're keeping your eyes locked on Harker. He's not doing anything. Selina, you see from underneath the cowl of these robes of this berobed person, a soft flash of green light in their eyes that looks like a circle with a line going through it horizontally. And the chimeras in the hall and the large chimera in the cage all open their mouths, and a green mist starts pouring into the room.
Can we eat it together? With our powers combined?
Possibly. I think that as this starts to happen and realizing that it's the air, Ari, can you make an opening to the upper atmosphere?
Well, that sounds dangerous. I'm in. You're looking for a breeze?
More so a if it's higher up, if it would suck the gas through the opening.
That could be fun. Jason, thoughts? Can I vent it?
Hey man, it's your rolls. If you open up a space where essentially a vacuum is going to be pulling things into it,
that could be dangerous.
Yeah. The vacuum is going to start pulling things into things.
Yeah.
Moving over to Gary and Etris, while you guys get that sorted out, let's figure out your summoning situation.
So I think first I'd have to roll preparedness to see if I even have any of Lucas's old gear.
Yeah.
Oh, that's so cocked. 4 and a 3 is a 7. And a +0 from Sharp, so 7, which means I think it means I have it, but not here.
Rough. You think back and you remember, oh yeah, Lucas replaced his phone a couple months back, and he tossed it on the dashboard of the I'm trying to remember the name of the pizza van, but I can't remember.
Queen Anchovy's Revenge.
Queen Anchovy's Revenge. Yeah, he tossed it on this dashboard of the Queen Anchovy's Revenge, and you remember just leaving it there.
So first step, we gotta cut a portal back to
my God.
plate. Then I'll just really quick reach in and grab the phone, and then I'll nip right back.
I mean, I will say, a use magic effect is summoning a monster into the world. So
I was gonna say, can we just cut to that?
Yeah, you can't just do that. If you would do that as a big magic, I think summoning what is essentially a lesser god is a big magic.
Yeah, we have his tokens as well.
So you would need to sacrifice at least one of the tokens, one of the rings. But yeah, I would call that a big magic weird roll.
Excellent. Does anyone? Well, I can. I haven't rolled great recently, but Etris can roll. I only have a too weird.
I think Ari is occupied with making the rift to the upper atmosphere currently. So I think it's on Etris.
That seems like it would take some time. Great. I'll do a roll.
Would you like us to roll simultaneously so you can have a very fun, terrible event happen?
Yeah.
We accidentally snuck
that was the purpose of that was the whole purpose of setting these things up concurrently.
I rolled a 12.
Tight.
Let's see. That is 9 on the dice plus 3. Also a 12.
Oh my god, 2 12s. Okay.
Everybody hold on to something.
What happens here? Etris, you take the band of sapphire and focus your magic and crush it in your hand, and a gout of sapphire blue flame emerges and jumps from your hand and grows into the full body of Oberon here. And as that happens, Ari, you cut your rift into the side of the world, and a not insignificant amount of air starts rushing out of this room, carrying with it this green gas. And seeing an opportunity, I think both the robed figure and Harker rush for that gap in the world.
Oh god.
Where this air is flying out of.
Can I use no limits to run faster than I normally could to try to spear tackle at least one of them out of the way before they can get there?
Yeah.
Alrighty.
Yeah, we see research papers like flying into this void here.
Takeout menus.
It'll be a 14.
Holy shit.
We are
pick your
unstoppable.
pick your person.
I guess.
Do you want the robed one, or do you want the ones who's been talking?
Oh, I mean,
which one is Harker? Is that the robed character? Or...
Harker is the one who's been talking. He is the named character.
I feel like the robe guy is going to be more valuable to Oberon, but Harker seems more willing to talk. I'm going to grab the robe guy. He's got more shit to grab onto.
Sure.
Okay. Yeah, Harker jumps into this void, and the robed figure is following quickly after, but Cherry, you're just able to spear tackle them and knock them to the side, and the rift in the world closes back up and seals.
Well, he's about 55 miles over the Atlantic Ocean, so I'm sure he'll be fine. I hope he knows how to swim and fly.
And breathe.
I'm sure he's quite good at falling.
Quite a long ways.
If Nightcrawler taught me anything, it's that you keep your velocity when you teleport, so he's going to have a heck of a time.
Bamp. We love.
Is Oberon here?
Yeah, Oberon is here and looks around and says, oh, this has been an eventful 10 seconds.
Have you lost a dragon?
Oh, wow. Yeah. I'll make sure everyone gets back where they belong.
Including us, I would imagine.
Yeah, and Oberon kind of looks into the hall and sees like all of these like littler chimeras. And you see him like put his hand out, and his flame just extends over them.
Oh god.
And it doesn't burn them, but you see just like one after another the magic dissipate. These lights of green just go up and break, go up, break, go up, break. And Oberon says, it seems that I have quite a few refugees to take back with me into the wild. Oberon just kind of like tends to his people, essentially, going over and like making sure everyone's okay, healthy, and then I think is going to open a portal himself into the Feywild, and so just like clapping his hands together and pressing them against the wall, and his flames spread out over it and dissipate into like this watercolor kind of portal through back into the wild, and the dragon walks through, and all of the horde of chimeras come through, and then he goes over to the robed figure and says, now you're source of my problems, aren't you? It doesn't respond. Now, this is a moral question of how ruthless is this person? You see a coin flip in Oberon's head, and he sighs, wraps this robed figure in rings of flame, that solidify around them, and then has them stand up and walks them through to the Feywild. And he turns to you and says, "Thank you, my friends, for helping me here. I'm sure that there's a lot that could be done, and we could certainly use more people and more hands on this. But that's not your problem to deal with. Enjoy yourself while you're still here, and just remember that this can be but a passing dream for you, if you wish." And he walks back into the Feywild, and the portal closes behind him. Sharkan Joe and the two sprites
Sharkan Joe and the boys
are well and thankful. And Joe goes, "Oh my gosh, thank you guys so much for coming and finding us."
How could we never think he was going to talk?
The hand is also moving.
Oh, so he's human body Joe, I see.
Human body, yeah.
Human body Joe. Thank you guys so much. I would love to take you guys to Murphy's for a drink.
Should we have told him about like all the people and the monsters and this cult or scientists or whatever they were?
I'm sure word will get around.
Okay, cool. So to the bar, right? Montage, yes. Montage,
and
yes.
Peeing all at the same time together.
Yeah, montage. You go back to Murphy's. There's great live music tonight. Joe reassures you that he's going to give Oberon a full report of everything that's happened to him and what's going on. And you just enjoy your evening together among new allies and people who deeply, deeply respect you and appreciate everything that you've done for them. And you go off into like kind of that haze. At a certain point, you wake up in your own beds, in your own worlds. And for a brief moment, you remember all that has happened here. And you can choose to regard this as a dream or fiction.
Oh, beans! I went to bed with the trash.